we've carved a nation from this sunburned country, and we've carved it with pride. In 2 centuries, we've learned to stand proud on our own, no longer an outpost of the British Empire. We bow to no one, and now we challenge the motherland to match it with the best of our athletes, both challengers and gladiators, because it's time to do battle in the return of the Ashes.
Gladiators, and we're here to put our foes asunder. Gladiators, with the power of the wind and the crash of thunder. The battle for the Ashes, we're here to put things right, to put things right. It's the battle for the Ashes.
Good evening, Australia, and welcome to a series that stirred our national pride last time round. These are the Gladiator Ashes, and for 3 weeks, a combined team of Australian and British gladiators will test the best challengers from each nation. Last time round, neither nation got their hands on the Ashes. This time, England wants them real bad, and Australia wants them even more. So let the Brits try. Let's all raise the flag high and prepare ourselves for a specially extended edition of international competition with our traditional rivals. And let's also welcome our British host, Ulrika Johnson, and our very own Mike Hammond.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to the National Indoor Arena here in Birmingham and to our second Ashes series. The result of the first Ashes hosted in Brisbane was split right down the middle with a win for the British girls and a win for the Aussie guys. So both of the countries, of course, this year and over the next 3 weeks will be looking for an out-and-out win.
And of course, the competition is extra tough tonight. Not only is their personal pride on the line, but these guys have got the pride of their country on their shoulders as well. And to make it just that little bit more interesting, we have some great prize money at the end of this series. The winner will take home £6,000, it's 12,000 Australian dollars, and the runner-up will win £2,000. That's about $4 grand. So they've got to look after themselves, their country, and the bank manager.
So let's meet our contenders. Representing Australia, Marissa Hootner.
And representing Great Britain, it's Sarah Dan.
Marissa from Canberra is a teacher who swims. She does gymnastics, athletics, and plays Australian Rugby League. Sarah is a national heptathlete champion who is ranked number 5 in Great Britain, and she was the runner-up in the last England Gladiator final.
Marissa, a very warm welcome to the UK. How are you feeling?
Not too bad, actually. A little bit nervous, though.
Now, the Aussies all know you, but we don't. So tell us a bit about you, what you do and where you're from.
Well, I'm from Canberra, the capital of Australia, and I'm a physical education teacher.
Oh, so you're pretty fit then.
Oh, well, not all of them are, but I try to keep fit, yes.
Now tell us, how well did you do in the Aussie series?
Well, I actually was the champion of the Australian series.
Oh, that's terrific. And I understand also that you have the fastest eliminator time, is that right?
Yes, I do, but your course is slightly different, so I'll have to still work hard to keep it up there.
Wish you the very best of luck for tonight. And who knows, you could be bringing the Ashes back to Australia. Who knows? Let's hear it for Marissa Hootner.
Sarah, we're here in Birmingham. Whereabouts in the United Kingdom do you live?
Here in Birmingham.
So she's a local girl, folks. Wow. I think that gives you an advantage. Now, also you've represented Great Britain as a heptathlete, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Heptathlete consists of 7 events: hurdles, high jump, long jump, shot, javelin, 200 and 800.
So there's a bit of time to rest in between, or do you have to go straight through?
No, it goes over 2 days, so you get a little bit of rest in between. But it's good fun.
We wish you all the best tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now we've met the girls, let's meet the guys. Representing Australia, Paul Reynolds.
And Great Britain, it's Emil Watson.
Paul from Sydney is a former rugby league rep. He's a dancer and an accountancy student, and he also holds the Australian Eliminator record. Emil is one of Britain's strongest challengers to date, an all-round athlete who wants to win for personal and national pride.
Paul, you've never been to the UK, have you? How are you finding it?
I love it. The people are very friendly, and it's very much like home.
Is it? Why?
Oh, just the general, you know, the streets and the houses and the cars and everything, same.
Oh, well, it's just like being at home then, a few miles away. What's your fitness thing? What do you like to do to keep fit, apart from your dancing?
Oh, I surf, I play a little bit of rugby league, I play a bit of squash and a bit of tennis.
Now, you've had a look at the competition here tonight in front of you. How do you think you're going to do tonight?
Well, this is an international standard event, and obviously, you know, the competitors are very strong. So, I mean, I'm playing for our Australian team, so I'm going to go hard, I'm going to go strong, and there's an old saying, I'm not here for a jam sandwich, I'm going to bring the victory back home for Sydney.
We'll see if you do that. Let's hear it for Paul Reynolds. Off you go.
Now, Emil, the first thing they've asked me to do is check that your laces are done up nice and tight. They're all okay?
Yeah, they were actually quite tight last time, but unfortunately they came off in a bungee and had to finish the eliminator with socks.
So you're the only guy who's done that, run up the travelator with just your socks on there?
I tell you, the big part was I was ahead, but the crowd kept me going, so make sure you guys keep me going tonight. Be my family, my friends for the night, please.
Now, Emil, what game are you looking forward to the most tonight?
Anything contact, anything speed. To be honest, I really don't mind what game it is. Just sit back and enjoy.
So let's hear it, folks, for Emil Watson, representing Great Britain. Well done.
Well, the girls are now ready for their first event, so let the Ashes begin. It's a game of tag high in the sky.
To earn 10 points, avoid being tagged for 60 seconds. Get caught or fall and you're out. We've seen this stylish gladiator in Australia last time round. Very beguiling, but Vogue is deadly fast and a ball of energy.
First up, it's Marissa. And tonight, she's facing Vogue. Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready!
The big difference tonight is that 5 games, not 4, will be played, as well as the eliminator. So the challengers have to put in an extra round. And let's have a look at this new game pendulum. That's a 5-metre sphere up there, enclosed in a cargo net. Marissa is on the opposite side at the start, and she's got to stay out of the clutches of Vogue. And to add to the difficulty, the sphere swings back and forth, creating considerable gravity forces. Now let's have a look at Marissa. She's hanging on down under, so to speak, and look at the effect those G-forces are having. Marissa will be experiencing that weird sensation of having doubled in weight, but not in strength. And every movement is like moving in a field of kryptonite. But of course, Vogue is feeling just the same. Move too fast and you get thrown off by the G-force. There is a net stretched horizontally beneath the sphere. It's just a bit hard to see. If Marissa can keep out of Vogue's clutches, she gets the 10. If she falls, it's 0. But if Vogue falls, Marissa gets full points. By the way, Marissa's been up there for more than 40 seconds, so she's automatically got 5. But Vogue is getting close. Can she get down to Marissa, who looks stuck on the bottom? Is that a tactic or is it just the forces? The whistle blows, she's got 10.
Well done, Marissa. I mean, I know this is a new game for you Aussies, but it didn't look very new to me at all when you were doing it. I mean, you looked as if you knew what you were doing.
Oh, well, I tried in training to go round the pendulum and wasn't very good at that. I was best hanging on with my strength down the bottom. I thought that would win me out, and it did. So
It certainly did, but it's the tough route to go because, of course, you're hanging on with all your strength at the bottom.
yeah, but I found it easier than going around.
Oh, my God, this girl is strong. And you picked up 10 points. Well done. Next up on the pendulum, it's Sarah. And she's going to be facing Glacier. Over to John Anderson.
3, 2, 1.
Now Sarah has a slight advantage. She's played this game before. And straight away Sarah goes for the base of the sphere, just like Marissa did. Now Glacier's going across the high side of the sphere. I reckon that might be where the forces are less. But watch her gather speed as she heads to the lowest point of the sphere. You can see that you really need to dig your toes in to prevent coming adrift from this big ball. Now remember, it's only fingers and toes that stop you tumbling into the net below, and Sarah really in the grip of gravity at the base, and Glacier's closing in mighty fast. You can see the tag dangling from Sarah's back, and you can also see how close Glacier is. But is she close enough to grab it? She can't afford to take her hands off just yet, but Glacier takes the chance anyway. And there goes the tag and both players drop. But Sarah survived 40 seconds and gets 5 points.
Well, Glacier, I have to say, I believe I have never seen anyone move so fast around the pendulum before.
Oh, it was so close, so near, but unfortunately too far.
You certainly were. I mean, I've seen Sarah do this before, going underneath the pendulum and then hanging around down there, but you didn't get much time to hang around today.
No, she was after me pretty quick. I lost my footing a bit and I just landed funny on my ankle, so wasn't too good today.
Well, we'll get a medic to your ankle, and 5 points for you, Sarah, for staying on for more than 40 seconds, and well done to Glacier too!
Great Britain opens their score with 5, but the Aussies hit the lead with a big 10.
Well, the Aussie girls have made a quick break for points. Let's see how the guys go. Representing Great Britain, it's Emil Watson. And our Australian gladiator is Condor. Here's John Forsyth.
3, 2, 1. Now, the rules for Emil and Condor are exactly the same as they were for the women. And we just saw how effective Gracie was in closing quickly, but I reckon Condor is even quicker. Emil has decided to drop to the lower side, but Condor is closing very fast, and Emil is really starting to scramble around the ball. Look at Condor, he's almost lost his foothold there, but he's so keen to close that gap, and he just can't afford to make any errors. Now, let me remind you that you really need a strong grip with your hands and feet, and I'm glad it's not me up there, because both these guys look like flies on sticky fly paper. Condor closing in, took a swipe, couldn't get Emil off the pendulum, and the gravitational pull must be immense up there. But neither Condor nor Emil dare to make any big moves. In fact, they're not making any moves at all. Just under 10 seconds to go, and it looks like Emil might survive for the 10. He's already got 5 for the English guys. Time's about to run out, and there's 10 points to Great Britain.
And now to our second round of the male event. Please welcome from Australia, Paul Reynolds. And chasing him on the pendulum, it's Hunter. Now to our Australian referee, John Forsyth.
Contender, are you ready? Now the pendulum is held in place till the whistle sounds, and then it sets swinging, and suddenly it just becomes so much harder. 3, 2, 1. Now it's interesting to see the tactics that Paul's applying here on pendulum, because it looks like they're different tactics from the last 3 challenges. He's heading sideways, and let me say, at a great rate of knots. But he's keeping an eye out for Hunter, which is clever, because Hunter's just around the corner, Paul. Paul, the dancer from down under, is very neat scampering across that revving. But look at the big fella Hunter, he's really closing in fast. And I think Paul's realising this, because it looks like he's heading down towards the bottom. Maybe he's lost a little bit of energy, and now he's heading downwards instead of sideways. And that was almost a disaster there for the Aussie, and Paul's just clinging on by his fingertips. He's inspired Hunter, who comes to the South Pole, and Hunter loses his foothold. He falls off the face of the earth, and the Aussie gets 10.
Hunter, I was going to ask you which one of your parents was a spider, mum or dad, because you fly around that thing.
Yeah, it's one of my best events. Really enjoy doing it. Full credit to the Australian contender. He flew round. I was just pushed off by the swing. Well done, mate.
I thought you had him, but you obviously scared the living daylights out of him, because he flew away from you as soon as he saw you.
Yeah, it's not a case of just touching the contender. They've got a thing on the back of them, and we've got to pull that off them, and you know, it's all right to touch them, but we've got to get to their back.
Now, Paul, turn around. You've still got the tag on the back. There it is, so proof that that you weren't got. First time I'm on that. We don't have this game in Australia. How is it?
It's really hard. As a matter of fact, I got a really good start on the very first blow of the whistle, and then I thought, wow, this is easy, but then I seen the Hunter come round. He was flying, and I thought, gee whiz, this is not so easy. So I decided to go under, and the centrifugal force, the gravitational pull, is really, really heavy. I thought my forearms were going to blow out, but great game.
And it was a great game for both nations, because each takes 10 for their country. One game down, and Powerball's coming up next.
Marissa, winner of Australian third series. I'm here to do it for Australia.
There's games we all play, like softball, football, netball, but no ball game is quite like this.
2 points for every ball in the outer baskets, 3 points for the central goal basket.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into event number 2, we have some very sad news from Sarah Dam. Sarah, tell us what's happened.
I had a bad fall as I came off the pendulum. I landed on the net and I was pushed along, and I unfortunately landed funny on my ankle. So the physios recommended that I don't continue, otherwise it will just get worse.
Well, that's awful news, because you've come a long way to be here and you have got supporters with you here as well tonight. In this case, of course, we bring in our standby, and that is Michelle Kimberley. The Aussies don't know you yet, so you'll have to introduce you. Tell us what you do and where you're from.
I do modern pentathlon for Great Britain, so another multi-athlete the same as Sarah, and I'm from Evesham in Worcestershire.
Well, again, let's hear it for Michelle Kimberley and Sarah Dam.
Michelle is another pentathlete who won silver in the Junior World Championships in 1993. She trains with weights and boxing.
Representing Great Britain on the blue balls, it's Michelle. Playing for Australia with the red balls, it's Marissa. And they're both going against our gladiators, Vogue, Glacier and Laser. We'll hand control of our game to our referee now, John Forsyth.
Contenders, are you ready?
Now Michelle's in the red and white, and Marissa's in our very own green and gold. And Vogue, Glacier and Laser line up to take the women through their paces. John Forsyth starts again, and Marissa gets brought down there by Laser, and Glacier didn't let Michelle move without a shadow. That was a great tackle by Glacier on the British pentathlete. She goes after her once more and takes her out again. Marissa recovering from another tackle. At the other end, she's racing down to grab a ball. There she goes, a fake right. Now she heads goalward. Could this be a score for the Aussie? No! Great work there by Vogue to bring her down. And what can Michelle do? Nothing, because Glacier's right there to stop her. Marissa loses her ball, so both challengers run to their new end, and with just over 20 seconds to go, it's still no score on the board. Marissa with another fake, but she's brought down by Laser once more. Trying to use that little bit of rugby league initiative, but it's not working because the Aussies aren't on the board yet. Vital seconds ticking by, and both women look tired. Laser lunges at Marissa, who shrugs her off. Now she's a chance for a rimmed out, and the whistle's about to blow. No points to either side.
Hey, Marissa, a nice welcome to Great Britain. They didn't take it easy on you, did they?
No, it seemed to be they always paired up on me, but it's a bit like rugby union, so get used to the tackles.
Now, Michelle, come in here. I see that at last you've met our Australian gladiator Glacier. I saw some big hits there.
She played different tactics to our gladiators. She actually followed me around the whole time, so it's a tough game.
I noticed, though, that a couple of times you tried to dodge her. She's pretty fast, isn't she?
She's fast. For a big girl, she's very quick.
Powerball left both teams powerless and pointless in the second game. Australia still leads by 5 with 3 games to go.
Let's see if the boys are more successful than the girls. Representing Australia and playing with the blue balls, it's Paul. And for Great Britain with the red balls, it's Emil. Against our gladiators, Rhino, Tower and Condor. And now to our referee for this round, John Anderson.
Contenders, ready!
Emil and Paul about to face Rhino and our 2 Aussie gladiators, Condor and Tower. Now the referee's John Anderson, and he's coached the British Olympic and Commonwealth athletic teams. Tower takes on Emil and stonewalls the Brit straight from the start. Paul comes flying past, leaps over a couple of gladiators and scores 3 points. The Aussies are on the board. They go back to collect their power balls. Emil, Tower with another tackle, but too late because Emil got 2, and so did Paul. So Paul leads by 3, and the Aussies are doing well in powerball. Emil double-teamed by both Aussie gladiators as Paul runs away from Rhino. Now he gets brought down, no score there. Both challengers with new balls. A head-high tackle, and Paul runs into the middle unguarded. There's another 3 points to the Aussies, What a great game right here for Paul. Australia scoring at will. Emil now, another tackle there from Condor brings him down. The Brits aren't having too many opportunities, and there's probably only enough time for one more run or maybe one more tackle from the Gladiators. Heads down, so are the challengers. No more scores. A great game for Australia.
How did you feel? I mean, there's some big hits there.
Big hits, tall guys, respect where it's due. Good guys. What can I say? Brilliant, excellent game. Hope the audience enjoyed it.
Paul, come in here. Come over this way. I noticed that Rhino was marking you through most of that match. Now, he's about the same height as you, but I'm afraid you're not quite as wide.
Yeah, I tried to outsmart him, but he was pretty good. I tell you what, that game is so much fun. It really gets your adrenaline going. It makes you really aggressive, and that's what I like.
Well, guys, that was a high-scoring event. I mean, you two are twice the height of those guys, but they put up a great fight.
Yes, they did. Emil's very powerful. I mean, his arms are as big as mine, and I'm about 2 foot taller than he is. So we had to tackle him very hard because he's such a powerful man.
Australia takes 9 points, Britain 5. So Australia has a handy lead of 4 points with 3 games to go.
Well, after 2 exhaustive games of Powerball, it's time to take a break. But join us in just a moment for more Ashes action here on Gladiators.
Set for our next game. This might look like fun, but it is really hard work.
Slingshot. 3 points for a red ball, 2 for a blue, and 1 for a yellow if you get them back in your basket.
Please welcome our Australian challenger, Marissa. And representing Great Britain, it's Michelle. Our Gladiators are Fury and Lightning. John Anderson, let's start the game.
Contenders!
Marissa the teacher, Michelle the student. Who's going to get top marks on swing shot? Whistle blows and the challengers bounce down. Michelle dives and scores 2, but Marissa wraps herself up and Michelle scored. The game will have to be stopped.
There are 55 seconds remaining. Contenders, you will start on the whistle. 3, 2, 1.
So with 55 seconds left, Great Britain are on 2. Australia get to score, and it doesn't change after that saute to the centre pole. Michelle and Marissa down once more, and Marissa grabs a yellow ball for the Aussies. Gets that back in her basket, and now Australia trails by 1 point. Down goes Marissa once more, couldn't get anything that time. Michelle right behind her, grabs a 2, and now Great Britain goes for a nice lead. It's 4-1. Marissa for Australia bouncing high, but Lightning strikes and pushes her away. Michelle couldn't score either, so it's still 4-1 with just over 10 seconds to go. Fury anticipating the jump. She went early, so Michelle has an open opportunity, but she couldn't score on that one. Neither could Marissa, and with only a couple of seconds left, there might be time for one more jump. Michelle has a bounce, but couldn't score that time, and it was 4-1 in Great Britain's favour.
Michelle, a fantastic effort. You really were getting up right past the red balls there.
Yeah, I was pleased with that game. It's a really fun game to play, and yeah, I was pleased with that 4 points.
Now, Marissa, I've seen you play this game in Australia. You had a little bit of trouble here in Birmingham.
Yeah, well, because I don't have any kangaroos here, you don't seem to be able to spring as high, so I don't know what the problem was.
Well, we got the 1 point for you, 4 points for you, Michelle. That's well done. Lightning, it's the first time I've seen you play that game, and I'm impressed. You're fantastic at that.
Oh, thanks. I really enjoy this. It's so much good fun. But it has a lot to do with having the tension right and also getting the spring in your jump. And you really have to put a lot into it. It doesn't look like you have, but you do. And that's how you get back onto the platform from being there in the beginning. But well done for the girls. Good luck for the next event and good luck for the eliminator.
So Michelle takes 4 and Marissa only 1. But Australia hangs on to a 2-point lead with 2 games to go. Meet Saracen. They call this gladiator the gentle giant. Well, he's nearly as tall as Tower, and his specialty is aerial games.
So now we move into the men's event with Emil and Paul. And they're going to be facing Saracen and Taipan.
You know.
Over to John Forsyth.
Contenders, are you ready? Gladiators, are you ready?
Yeah, man. Always.
3, 2, 1.
Whistle blows and the challengers start to go now. Emil went first, Paul held back a little bit, but it didn't help because neither challenger scored. 10 seconds gone on the clock. Everyone cagey now. Paul jumps and grabs a yellow ball. There's one for the Aussies. Emil comes down and grabs a red. So Great Britain goes straight to the lead. 3-1. Paul and Saracen got a little bit tangled up there, but they separated themselves. Paul goes down once more, pushed away by Saracen again, and here comes Emil. The big bounce, he's got another 2 for Great Britain. Scoring very easily. Let's see what Paul can do. Grabs a pole, grabs 2. Good scoring, and Emil nearly juggled 3, couldn't hold on to it. So Australia catching up. Will they do it again? No, Saracen pushes Paul away. Emil bounces down. Taipan was there, but he got around him, got 2, and with precious seconds running out for the Aussies, it looks like the Brits are going to take this game.
Well, guys, it was a great event of swing shot, and particularly for you, Emil. I mean, 7 points.
Well, I could have got like another red, but my leg kicked in and it hurt. But before I say anything, please, everybody here, can we have like a proper, real applause for Paul? Because he's a brilliant contender. Please, now, can we have it? Loud, 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 loud.
I was going to wait with his applause. Now, Taipan, you didn't look particularly comfortable up there. I mean, were you having a bit of trouble with your bungee? Or?
The rig's a little bit different to ours at home, but full credit to him. He got the points. I've got him in hang-up nest, so revenge is the name of the game.
Oh, well, we'll be watching out for that. And Paul, very unlucky. You do understand that you were disqualified with your blue ball because you were interfering with the pole as you were picking up that point, so...
Yeah, well, them's the breaks. They're the rules, and you have to go by the rules. I was a little bit surprised at losing those points, but never mind. It was a good fight, and Saracen certainly knows his job, so...
You certainly did, Saracen. I mean, full credit to you. That was excellent.
Well, thank you very much. He pulled a sneaky one on me in the whistle. We didn't actually jump when the whistle went, and I was a bit sort of disappointed with that, but I caught him up, and I made sure he didn't score too many points.
So a great scoring run for Emil, net 7 points, and Paul had 2 points taken away, and England now has a 2-point lead with 2 to go.
So join us for more Ashes action after the break here on Gladiators. of defence, it's the only form of defence.
10 points if you knock the Gladiator down, and 5 if you survive for 30 seconds. Meet Rio. 187 centimetres of lithe beauty, but take note, Rio is a Taekwondo expert.
First up on duel, it's Marissa. She's going to be battling it out against Rio. Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready!
Well, I don't need to point out the size difference. It's pretty obvious.
3, 2, 1.
Marissa's in heavy weather, and this is no way to see Rio. She's taking some hefty blows, and now she's trading some in return. But Rio just looks too strong at this stage. Marissa nearly lost her balance. She's wobbling, she's wavering, and you can wave her goodbye. There's no points.
Next up on duel, it's Michelle. And she's going to be facing Storm. Over to John Anderson.
3, 2, 1.
The whistle goes and Storm goes bang. She's not holding back, but Michelle is more than a match for the Gladiator. Physically, Michelle is stronger than her opponent, and this is an international level athlete, and she's got the right attitude. But by that I mean she's taking the fight right up to Storm. Storm's got hit a couple of times. She seems to be losing her balance also. And look at this, Storm's down. When's the last time you saw that? But she's not out, she's back on her feet. Shaken and not stirred. Michelle giving her no respite, and she gets 5.
Well done, Michelle. I mean, that was a tough game, and at times you made her look very, very vulnerable out there.
Yeah, I was pleased about that. I think we had quite a good even match, but I was just pleased to stay up there. I thought a couple of times I had her off, but she was a strong girl.
She certainly was. You were excellent and able to recover so well.
I didn't know if I was trying to duel up there or rap dance.
Well, at times. In fact, when she unsettled you a little bit, you came back and you looked damn angry.
And then I just ran out of time.
Now, John Anderson, I understand there's been an official complaint regarding the game of duel. Tell us what happened.
Well, Michelle has asked that we have a look at the video, and on looking at the video, the Gladiator Storm put her hand on Michelle's hand and stick. That is not allowed within the rules, and therefore Gladiator Storm is disqualified, and Michelle has 10
So Michelle 10 and Marissa 0. And Britain are catching up dramatically, but Australia still lead by 8 with 1 game to go.
We've seen the girls slug it out. Now let's see the guys go. Representing Great Britain, it's Emil. Against the bad boy of the Australian team, Vulcan. To our referee, John Forsyth.
Contender, are you ready?
So Emil, meet Vulcan. Best of British luck to you, Emil. And judging by the crowd's reaction, Vulcan's reputation has preceded him. He starts flailing like a cyber windmill. Emil withering under the pressure. Emil staggers and he falls. There's no points.
Emil, we should have warned you before the game began. He actually takes great delight in not only winning, but seeing how quickly he can win that game.
All right, listen, for the crowd, my mistake, lost my balance. If you'd like me to do it 10 times, cut your hair now. You're about to lose it, mate.
I tell you what, them's fighting words after what we've just seen. Vulcan?
Listen to me, you Brits. I didn't come here to lose. That was too easy.
Winning the Australian series in a record time of 49 seconds was a great achievement. Being here representing Australia is something yet again.
Round 2 for the guys, and it's a rematch. Remember what happened in Pendulum? Representing Australia, it's Paul. Against Hunter.
3, 2, 1. So is the Hunter after revenge. He strikes and pulls off. Where'd he go? No points. What a game. Both nations stopped in their tracks, and England still has a nice little lead of 2 points with 1 game to go. Our battle rages on with Hang Tough after the break.
Okay, now it's arm-wrenching, fist-clenching, white-knuckle time.
60 seconds to get past the attacking Gladiator, 10 points if you make it to the opposite platform.
Our first challenger representing Australia is Marissa. And fighting for Great Britain, it's Lightning. And to referee this game, it's John Forsyth.
Contender, are you ready?
Marissa's been very successful on the rings in Australia.
Are you ready?
Here we go.
And Lightning's the darling of the English fans, and they really want her to win. And from the start, Lightning taking some mighty swings. She's obviously determined to set up a lot of momentum. Marissa is keeping a very watchful eye on Lightning as she's closing in very fast. Lightning's not letting the pace slacken for a second on these rings. She looks right at home up here. She's swinging so gracefully. She's traversing so beautifully. And now she's closing in on the challenger, and she strikes. Marissa defending well. And look at this. Lightning's got Marissa's foot. Now she's got her thigh. But in fact, Marissa's trapped Lightning's hand. This is a great move because Lightning can't go anywhere, and Marissa's just hanging there also. So if she can stay up there for another 15 seconds, she's definitely got the 5 points. But Lightning slips, and now the Aussie's got a chance to go all the way. She's about 4 rings away from the end. Can she do it in 5 seconds? She's getting closer. She's getting closer, but she doesn't make it. She gets 5. That's a great effort.
And now representing Great Britain, it's Michelle. And her Australian gladiator is Delta. Ref, the game is yours.
3, 2, 1.
Delta will be looking to show her skills here in front of the big Birmingham crowd. But her opponent is a pentathlete, and as we've seen, she's very strong. Action's very fast from both these women, and Michelle's gone off to her left. Delta covers her, and now she's closing in fast. Both just watching each other, and Michelle, you better watch out because here comes Delta. She's getting closer all the time. Now she lunges, and Delta gathers Michelle in. Well, I wonder if the British team are used to our direct approach on the rings. The Birmingham fans are yelling to Michelle just to hang on. There's a lot of pressure going through those 10 fingers. What determination here from this British challenger. For almost 20 seconds now, Michelle has held on. How strong is this athlete? Can she do it for about another 5 more seconds? Delta's trying everything to get her off those rings, but I don't think it'll work. Michelle gets the British team 5 points.
Michelle, that was an exhibition of just brute force. I mean, you're straight like a bull out of a gate, straight past those red rings in the centre. And I reckon most of the fellas here in the auditorium just would not have been able to hang on like that.
Well, I was very pleased with that. She was a tough girl, shaking away, but I was determined to stay up there, so I was pleased with that.
Well done, 5 points. That was great. You needed to do that because Marissa got the 5. A great effort there by Michelle. Delta. Do we need to put some weight on you to get her off?
I think so. Actually, the challenges just seem to be getting a little bit bigger and bigger each time, but they get a really good lock on your legs here, and you just can't get at those fingers, so... But well done, good luck.
So both women last the distance and take 5, but England now has an 8-point lead, and that's a 4-second start in the Eliminator.
Got to the semi-finals in the domestics, had a very good time. I'm now here for the Ashes, which is Great Britain v Australia. I intend to go one stage further and win.
So now we move into the men's event with Emil. And revenge has been promised by Taipan. Over to our referee, John Anderson.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready!
Well, we call Taipan the Lord of the Rings. He should feel quite at home over here with all the other titles. Taipan takes off with great confidence, and both men moving fast, and Taipan showing no problem with the British version of Hang Tough. And within about 15 seconds or so, he's already caught up to Emil. Taipan now just waiting for his opportunity. There it is, but he's unable to hold, though, as Emil repels him well. Taipan sizing his opponent up while Emil has gone into defensive mode. And now Taipan locks on. Taipan wrapping his body around his victim as he closes in. He's moving up the shoulders, and now he starts that rocking motion. Using his weight, well, I tell you what, Emil's biceps are as big as Taipan's, and that should stand him in good stead as they lock in battle. Emil isn't going to go easy. Taipan throwing everything into it, and he gets him off. No points.
I have to say, at the very beginning there, you weren't looking that confident.
Now, as I said, I came in here with 1 or 2 injuries, and as on swing shot, it kicked in, right arm said no. I had a go. Good luck to him. He works very hard. Thank you to all the crowd.
Well, I mean, in fact, you were holding on for a very long time once he did get hold of you. I thought you were going to go down straight away.
Well, what can I say? All these kids in the audience who keep shouting my name, all these lovely people, thank you very, very much.
Well, I understand you're the king of the rings in Australia, and you certainly proved it there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
You promised revenge.
I did, and I got it. I'm happy.
Next up to Hang Tough, it's Paul. And he's going to be facing the nasty, nasty Wolfman. Over to John Anderson.
3, 2, 1.
Wolfman takes a big run up to increase his speed from the start. Now he moves straight in, and both men are watching each other respectfully. And within 10 seconds, Wolf has made contact, but he couldn't hold him because Paul evaded well. Paul looking good up there, and he's moving with a lot of style. Wolf had another opportunity, but Paul turned away from Wolf. That's a good tactic. He's left Wolf a bit nonplussed, and he's one-handed and looking all out of form up there. Paul is out of danger, but he has to now convert his advantage into a quick recovery and go for that platform. He's trying, but he's trying too hard, I reckon. Yep, he takes his final bow. No points. Both men failed to score on the rings, so Emil takes a 2-point advantage from the earlier games and has a 1-second lead in the Eliminator.
Well, all that remains now is the Eliminator itself. So join us after the break to find out who will go through to the Ashes final here on Gladiators.
Both nations have to face the last test tonight. In Birmingham, they also call it the Eliminator.
Well, here on the starting line, I'm feeling tense, so I can only imagine how our contenders are feeling. Michelle, that error on Storm's behalf has given you a great break at this stage of the game.
Yeah, but still 4 seconds with this bungee thing is nothing. We may as well be starting on level. So, good luck.
Any piece of apparatus that you feel really confident with on this event?
I like the cargo net.
We'll see how quickly you get up that cargo net. Marissa, now I know in the Australian series you've started from behind before and come through. You're not going to let 4 seconds worry you?
Oh, no, it's pretty much of a handicap, but I'm going to try my best to make up the time.
We've seen it happen so many times. People can come off the beam, have trouble on the cargo net, come off the travelator. Anything can happen. So we wish you both the best. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for both our challengers. Michelle from Great Britain, Marissa from Australia. We'll go to our referee, John Forsyth.
Michelle, you will go on my first whistle.
As Michelle said, with athletes at this level, 4 seconds is not an impossible advantage to overcome. Maybe there's an advantage in having to chase a target from the start. And at the start of the British Eliminator, we've got the 4 hurdles like we do back in Australia. Michelle is as good as I've seen anyone go through those hurdles, but now there's the bungee maze. This is where it gets hard. Marissa seems to be doing well, and she's caught up to 4 seconds as they go through the rope climb and up to the hand ladder. Marissa's hit the lead. Where's the English girl? She's having a lot of trouble on the rope. Now she's a chance to come back. Marissa's looking good as she flings herself onto the net, and Michelle seems to be standing still by comparison. Marissa's opened up a nice little lead, and now both women are on the net. And that's not the internet. Well, at least it is between Australia and England. The crowd cheering Marissa on, and she's not letting them down. She gets up to the zip line, takes a hold, and goes for a faultless ride as Michelle's struggling at the top of the net. Marissa now starting to address the beam. Oh, she almost lost it. She has to start again. Valuable seconds chewed up there because Michelle's coming down the zip line also. Marissa off the balance beam, steadies herself for the travelator. Puts her head up high, but she put her foot on the side and slipped. She's come down, and now Michelle on the balance beam has just about caught up. Marissa for her second try. She couldn't do it. She's holding on. She's clinging desperately to the top, but she didn't have the strength to get over. Here comes England. Michelle with her big chance. She's reached for the top, but couldn't hold on either. Now they're both trying to get their breath. They're trying to find some energy in their body. Just anything to take them up the travelator. They're ready. They head off together. This is fantastic. This is so close. It's neck and neck. Well, now it's belly to belly as they slide down once more. Oh, this is just absolutely fantastic. Neither of these challengers know when to give up. They've got their country's pride at stake. They've got their own pride at stake. They're just really, really tired now. The lactic acid has built up in the legs. One final assault, maybe. Can they do it? It's Marissa on the left. It's Michelle on the right. And they still can't do it. Oh, this is just taking everything out of me. I know how they feel. John Forsyth intervenes. Let's find out what's going to happen here. John's having a chat to both challengers. And what he's going to do, he's going to take them back to the start of the balance beam, give them each a bit of a run-up.
In the event of both challengers not being able to get up the travelator, we will commence it after a short break they've had from this point, both starting at the same time. Michelle and Marissa, you'll both go on my whistle. 3, 2, 1.
There's no advantage. It's a whole new ball game. Who can get up the travelator first with one last run? Marissa's just in front as she comes off the beam. She pumps the arms. She's up there. Michelle's up there too, but the Aussie women have won the first heat of the Ashes. Ulrika, how do they feel after that?
Warm congratulations to you. My goodness, you both worked very, very hard on that eliminator. I can't tell you, the tension in here is absolutely astronomical. How are you feeling?
A bit bruised.
and exhausted naturally. The good news for you is that you're through to the Ashes final.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Michelle, it's like the World Cup all over again. I mean, that's how they must have felt in that sudden death shootout.
Yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of pressure on you then. But I had to do that on my first heat in the domestic, and I won, so I think I paused too long at the end of the beam, but...
Look, you're an Ashes contender. Let's put this on you now and congratulate you. You were worried about that bungee, and you were absolutely right about it. That's what slowed you down in the event.
Yeah, in previous shows I've been okay, but today, I don't know what went wrong in there, and the cargo net.
I think there's a bit of extra pressure. You know, you're representing your country here. The pressure is really on. You've been a fantastic contender. I think the whole crowd would agree, don't you think, that Michelle has done a fantastic effort?
Well, Emil, I'm not quite sure if it's worth having a 1 second head start. I mean, it's quite a painful second, that.
No, not at all. This guy does it in 49.5, but I'm going to be a vegetarian bird flying free.
Well, Paul, I'm sure you're looking at following in Marissa's footsteps, aren't you?
I hope so, but anything can happen. It's a new show, different night, different day. Anything can happen.
We'll see what happens. The best of luck to the both of you, and we'll see you both at the end. Emil and Paul. Over to John Anderson.
Emil, you will go on my first whistle.
Emil setting the challenge right there. Paul holds the record, but will the vegetarian Emil fly home as he hopes? Emil certainly flies over the hurdles. Paul just leaps over like a gazelle. Into the maze on hands and knees, and the Aussie dancer comes out in front. He's smoking this guy. Paul takes the rope like it's an express elevator. He's on the handbike and moving. He looks like he's Gary Newman at the Olympics. Paul bounces over the logs and up to the net. Emil's catching up. He's got massive arms, and he'll put them to good use right now. He's gaining ever so slightly, but it doesn't look like it's enough. Paul's still got a little bit of a lead now as he hits the top of the cargo net and goes over to the zip line. Paul's still in front, down he goes, a nice drop, there it is, off and running. Look at this fella go. Paul's still in front, and he's so neat on his feet. The dancer dances across the beam, and look at this, he literally sprints up the travelator, just like Michael Johnson would have. Not a problem for this Aussie. He's through, what a great time also. 59.5 seconds. Emil failed in his first run up the travelator. He'll go back and compose himself, and I always say at this point, you've got to dig deep and find that little bit extra. He's composing himself now. He runs, he gets up there, he's nearly slipped down the back, but he's home. Welcome home, Emil, but the Aussies are through once more.
Paul Reynolds of Australia, you're through to the final. You must be delighted.
I am, but I got to do one thing. I got to thank Emil. He's been a true gentleman the whole way through. I give him a thank you.
Well, I have to say, you made that eliminator in 59 seconds look very, very easy.
It weren't so easy this time, I can tell you. I'm knackered, as they say in England.
Well, some of us do, but anyway, the best of luck, and we look forward to seeing you in the Ashes final. Let's hear it for Paul Reynolds. Woo, well done.
Emil, put this around your head. You're a champion, mate. You've been here on your own tonight, but you've got the whole crowd behind you. Those bungee cords seem to be giving the Brits a lot of trouble.
Bungee cords do give a lot of trouble, but the rapturous welcome from this crowd made a difference. Thank you, everybody. Eureka, everybody, thank you. I'm sorry.
Well, Mike, I have to say I'm rather gutted by that result. An out-and-out win for Australia.
Well, Ulrika, anything can happen, and of course next week we still have heat number 2 to go, so it doesn't look like it's going to be an all-Australian final yet.
No, let's hope not. Join us next week for more Ashes action here on Gladiators.
Good night.
Next week, 2 more Brits and 2 more Aussies line up to earn the right to defend the honour of their country. Next Saturday, the second battle between England and Australia on the Gladiators.
Gladiators!